I've been a member of Highland since I went through the confirmation class as a teenager. And after I grew up, we lived away from Raleigh for a number of years. We returned to Raleigh in 1998 and we immediately rejoined Highland Church. And as I look back, something that I think has been amazing for me is I can remember going through the confirmation program. I remember Reverend Allman was our minister at the time, very nice man. And as an adult at Highland, I've had the opportunity, the honor to serve as a mentor for several young men and women going through the confirmation class at Highland and to help them on their faith journeys. And I've also had the opportunity to serve as a youth leader for the youth group at Highland. And again, what's amazing to me is I feel like I've kind of come full circle to be able, as an adult, to serve in leadership capacities in ministries that I participated in when I was growing up at Highland. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity, and being a member of Highland Church, growing up in the church, and then coming back and serving Highland as an adult has been a wonderful blessing in my life.
What brought us to Highland?
Well, we moved to Raleigh the day after Thanksgiving in 1966. We started coming to Highland because we knew this would be our church home, since it was in the neighborhood and it was close to the schools where Bud and Pam at that time was 3 and 5 years old would be going to school. And it was very convenient for my work, and so this was just an answer to our prayers that we'd have all these things available to us right in the community. I remember coming to church the first time and Godfrey Stallings was greeting in the sanctuary, and he always had a greeting for everybody. Top of the morning. Pam and David were married here. They had 3 grandchildren, and our great-grandchild was baptized in this church, so those have been significant events for us. But we've enjoyed Sunday school and the worship services and the fellowship with so many wonderful people.
What do you see as our legacy?
I think our legacy would be that we have been active, supportive, and faithful members of Highland since 1967.
And why is legacy important?
Legacy is important to hopefully leave something better than what we found it. And I hope we have made a contribution by being good, faithful members to Highland and enjoying the good fellowship with so many wonderful people that we've had the privilege to enjoy in this church home.
My brother and I were going through my mother's last things after she passed away, and we found a roll of film. Well, Tom Lim took it and developed it, and then we printed these pictures from it. And this was the beginning of Highland. This picture was taken at Francis Lacey Elementary School. This is the first chancel, and this is Al Fisher, our second pastor, and his son Bert and I were the first 2 kids to be thrown out of a worship service, because when they're saying the Lord's Prayer, your eyes are supposed to be closed, and we wanted to see who could get their airplane made out of the program up on the altar. Well, when it was all over and they did the choral response, Al walked to the front and he waved Godfrey Stallings down, and he pointed at us and said, "Out." By the time we got to the narthex, Becky Fisher and Francis Whitley were waiting on us and took us into the front yard. And I found out 30 or 40 years later from Al and my dad that they all thought we were being killed. They just wore us out. And then the second time we got thrown out, Al said, "If you can't afford to put something in the plate, take something out." Well, we didn't know that was a figure of speech. And so Bert and I were wrestling over the plate, and it fell, and it's a tile floor, and it went kablam, blam, 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 and coins and stuff went everywhere, and we got yanked out by our ears again. Okay, this is my second garden that I made at Highland. The first garden was the prayer garden that I made because I was Eagle number 18 in Troop 357, and my father chartered the troop. And my mother was instrumental in turning it into a columbarium, so now my mother and father and youngest brother are resting in the garden that I created because my father started the scout troop. That's the greatest circle of life that I possess, and that's just heartwarming to me. Now this garden, this is our 15th growing season, and because of this garden and our efforts to help establish community gardens, not just citywide, but state, country, and worldwide, we started 133 community gardens. Gary, when we started the garden, he asked me, "Cullen, what's your mission?" And I said, "We're growing vegetables." He goes, "What's your mission?" And I didn't truly understand what he meant. The mission of this garden is so much more than growing vegetables. We used to, when the ESL students studied here, on Wednesdays we would feed them. We'd bring lunch, and then they got to take home all the produce on Wednesday. And for some of them, that was the only fresh produce they could afford. If I could give you one term to me of being a lifelong member at Highland, it would be fulfilling or fulfilled. I feel that I am dearly fulfilled. I'm not rich compared to people that have a lot of money monetarily, but no one on earth is richer than I am for growing up at Highland.